Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're going to try Facebook Live today. We're here on YouTube and TikTok Live, getting ready for Top Rope Report. So, hopefully, you guys will enjoy the show tonight. Give a lot of likes, follows, and shares on the TikTok page. Okay, let's see. Hello, Greg. Let's see. Hopefully, this will work.
Nope, I guess we're going to Messenger.
I guess so. All right. Yep. Hello, Hunter.
I see you, but I don't hear you.
Hello. Well, what's up?
There. You hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. So we're all set. We can get going. Let me retry it. So, how was that?
You're on TikTok.
Yep.
You're live on TikTok?
Yep.
Why?
Why am I live on TikTok?
Why did you restart your live on TikTok?
I didn't restart my live on TikTok. I restarted it here on Messenger. So
Why do we hear that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Seems to be okay now. I don't want to say that too loud though. All right. Well, we can get started here. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of Top Rope Report here on YouTube Live and TikTok Live. I'm your host, the illustrious Mr. Trivia, and joining me every week, my co-host, my tag team partner, my best friend, the best in the business, the Nugster Greg. Greg, how you doing? Not much. Already at 951 likes already. We just started. That's beautiful. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, so we're going to be doing our Monday Night Raw and NXT recap. So if we're all set, we can get going and start talking about the shows.
1,000 new effect you got on your thing from people like?
Oh, I don't know. That's been on there since yesterday.
Oh,
I guess they just switch it up.
hey. Let's see what your goal is today. What is that? Go?
Yeah.
That's debatable, but okay.
Oh, okay. So it's like that. Okay.
All right. Well, welcome to our recap of Monday Night Raw. This week's Monday Night Raw took place from the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. And then when they come up with some name to these arenas,
I don't know.
I don't know. The KFC Yum with an exclamation point. And in true Top Rope Report fashion, anything and everything Monday Night Raw, the illustrious Mr. Trivia leads us off. Triv, this week's Monday Night Raw opened up with CM Punk cutting his first promo since WrestleMania 41. Triv, what did you think?
Well, thank you, Greg. Yeah, I thought this was a great way to start off Monday Night Raw. I mean, CM Punk came out. You know, it's great to be alive in Louisville, Kentucky. And then he came out saying he was pissed off, but the one person he was most pissed off at was himself. I didn't expect him to say that, but thank you, Xander. And it was just, I mean, he got into some good points, and then Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker came out. It was pretty funny because Paul Heyman came out first, and CM Punk called him a fat little penguin. And then Seth Rollins came out once again talking about his complete and utter disdain for CM Punk. And Seth Rollins was like, well, I'm going to be capturing the championship. And CM Punk is like, not as long as I'm standing. So that was pretty interesting. And then Braun Breaker, you know, looking like the badass that he is. I like that look, the way he was standing out there. But, yeah, I thought this was. I thought it was. That's okay. I thought it was a really good way to start the show. It's a good promo. When CM Punk is good on the mic anyway, but when you add Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins to it, it makes it even better. And I really enjoyed the way they started off the show. I gave it an A.
Okay. Well, I mean, first of all, I think we wouldn't be dressed up in a disjustice for not mentioning the little simple tribute that CM Punk did to Sabu as he came in the ring, turned his back to the hard camera like he's done before, and then, you know, did the little lean over with the finger up into the sky for Sabu. No, he wasn't acknowledging his tribal chief. For those of you out there that I've seen on social media saying that, you know, they were expecting Roman Reigns to be coming out because he paid tribute to the tribal chief. No, that was to Sabu. But, I mean, you know, once again, like you said, the person I'm most pissed off at is me. You know, he said I'm mad at that little Team CM Punk, Seth Rollins. They're yelling at Paul Heyman, comes, where are you at? You know, Penguin, he wanted him to come out. And, you know, once again, like you said, he said to Seth Rollins, you're never going to be champion as long as I'm on my 2 feet. And right then and there, as soon as that, you knew that something was going to happen. Seth Rollins, you know, sent Braun Breaker down, and then it was quickly a 2-on-1. Then after it was a 2-on-1, Sami Zayn came out, which made it a 2-on-2. And then after that, they kind of got the upper hand because, yeah, you know, the 2-on-2, but one was already kind of beaten down, and then so then it was 2-on-2, but kind of 2-on-1 halves. And then if you add it all together, you get the 33%, and then you add that together, then Jey Uso comes out, and all of a sudden we got 3-on-2, and the whole internet is ablaze. Oh my God, who's going to be the third person to help out Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker? Pump your brakes. hold on. It's not going to be a 3-on-3. It's a 2-on-2 in this year's Saturday's main event. So after all that is said and done, we get what Mike likes, a good ring promo on the mic, and then some people throwing punches and beating people up. What did you give it?
I gave it an A.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought I heard you say. Yeah, it was the same old CM Punk. I hate Seth Rollins. I hate CM Punk. I'm fucking sick and tired of it. Get on with it. Get over it. I'm done with it. I don't need it anymore. But after all said and done, I thought it was okay. Didn't like it nearly as much as you. I mean, I liked it probably, for the Sami Zayn and the Braun Breaker fantasy points I got, but I gave it a solid B.
Okay.
After that, we went into the first matchup of the evening, where it was Chad Gable taking on Penta. I get to go first for this. Michael Cole mentioned that Chad Gable was stepping in for El Grande Americano, who was on a Mexican tour, so he was unable to answer to what happened at Battleground, at Backlash. So it was Chad Gable stepping in for him. I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed in this match. I thought this was going to be a great match. I mean, you have Chad Gable's awesome. Penta could be really good. You put the two together, and it's like it could be a masterpiece. And I just didn't get it. I don't know. Part of the I don't know, maybe a little bit, maybe slightly was kind of the. It almost seemed like this match was an afterthought to Pat McAfee coming out, because after Chad Gable came out, they kind of went to their break, and then they came back, and before Penta could come out, Michael Cole started saying that he was there on his own because Pat McAfee was running late. Then Pat McAfee came out and was like, okay, all right. I mean, there was a little slip in the corner of the turnbuckle there, and then Penta turned it into a good, kind of code breaker off of the ropes. Chad Gable, said to Penta, Lucha Libre sucks, but I really just totally thought this was going to be a knockdown, drag him out, excellent match, and I just got a barely above average Monday Night Raw match. I actually didn't really care too much for it. I only gave it a C.
Okay. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the likes as well. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you in a way. I mean, I expected a lot more out of this match, too. It was more, they're both high flyers and all, but I don't know, there was just something missing from this match. It just seemed like, I don't want to say neither one of them really wanted to win, because I'm sure they wanted to win, but Penta still comes up with all these, crazy maneuvers and that finisher that he has. I keep thinking, Mexican Destroyer. I mean, I just keep thinking something bad's going to go wrong, but it doesn't. And Chad Gable's Chad Gable. I mean, he is just great in the ring. And it was just a match that I thought could have been better. Penta got the win, obviously, and maybe we'll see something else from these guys again down the road. I gave it a C as well.
Wow, totally different from what you told me yesterday. Absolutely, possibly, totally different. What changed your mind?
I rewatched it.
You did not. Stop. What changed your mind?
I rewatched it.
Okay. All right. After that, we went to a tag team matchup where it was the matchup of the War Raiders taking on, Eric and I were the War Raiders taking on Julius and Brutus Creed, the Creed brothers of American Made. Trev, you lead off for this one.
Well, you knew that New Day was going to come out. I'm kind of glad that they really didn't get involved. Either one of these teams can challenge the New Day for the tag titles. The War Raiders, former champions, they lost to the New Day. Creed Brothers, I really think that they're going to end up becoming tag team champions eventually. The Julius and Brutus, yeah. They man, they're just so good in the ring, and they're some big guys, and they're good in the ring. They're agile, just like the War Raiders. They're big guys. They're agile. But I thought the match was pretty good. The New Day with some of their commentary was actually pretty funny. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was pretty good. I gave it a B minus.
Okay.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, yeah, I mean, the New Day being out ringside, on the commentators, that was good. I know they called out Michael Cole, who was kind of alluded to how the New Day, quote unquote, cheated when they beat the War. I almost called them the Raiders, the War Raiders. And he said, wait a minute, that's exactly what you did just 48 hours ago, pointing out how Michael Cole held down Gunther's leg to try and help Pat McAfee win, which was the exact same thing the New Day did. The only thing is the New Day, it was a tag team match, so they were both legally in the match, but whatever. I didn't like this match either. I was disappointed by this. I not that the War Raiders aren't good, and not that the Creed Brothers aren't good, but when I look at what the tag scene on Monday Night Raw is giving me versus what the tag team scene on SmackDown is giving me, dude, the match was just boring. It really was. The best part of it was the New Day being on commentary. And, I mean, yes, the New Day interfering from the creative looking at it, maybe it was, interesting with New Day interfering on behalf of the Creeds to kind of indirectly make them the number one contenders. I guess it was okay. It just feels like we're eventually going to get a triple threat match between the three tag teams. I don't know if this is even something interesting enough to put on a Saturday night's main event. If not, then what are we doing here? They've got to do something with the tag division on Raw because it's pathetic. And the performances I think we're getting in the ring are once again, Bill, in comparison to SmackDown, I have to give this honestly a C minus. There was nothing for me that stood out in this matchup at all.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think the tag team scene in SmackDown is definitely far better than Raw.
Yep.
Far better.
WWE officially announced that CM Punk and Sami Zayn will take on Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker at Saturday night's main event on May 24th. We saw a brief interaction between CM Punk and Sami Zayn where they kind of both said that neither one ever really trusted the other in the first place. Guess what? We then had an in-ring promo. Guess who's up first?
You.
Yes. It's not trivia. Jey Uso then came out, and I get to go once again. I'm going first. It was kind of talking about, looking like they sort of recap Logan Paul's cheap shot on Jey Uso last week at the end of Monday Night Raw. And he was surprisingly and I guess unexpectedly cut off as the ring general, the ring general Gunther came out. Just laid out. Where was it? He said, I can feel the position. I feel this position is not natural to you because unlike me, you're not an natural champion, pointing out that for 80% of his time in WWE, he's been a champion. Jey Uso, after they're kind of verbally back and forth, Gunther made it noted to him that on the January 9th episode of Raw from Phoenix, he will challenge the winner of Jey Uso and Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jimmy Uso, before it was all said and done, said, "I'm going to handle the YouTuber, then me and the ring general are going to run it back." So it sounds like he's all up for it. But, we have the typical Jey Uso coming out through the crowd, into the ring, taking 8 minutes to get to the ring, then eating for a couple of minutes, and then grabbing the microphone, and everybody, one more time, he does the roll it over, and they start doing it all over again, and, not really, I'm getting tired of the eating, I really am. I know that everybody's all over with this. It's almost getting to me, and when I say this to you, Mike, you'll understand how annoying it is starting to get to me. When I say it's reminding me of a certain tag team that used to come out that were a cup of haters that I hated. So Bozo and Big Ass, I couldn't stand their shtick. And this is starting to get on the verge of getting annoying to me like that. It goes on way too long. And this was just okay for me. I could have done with it. I was okay with it, but I could have done without it. I gave it a B-.
Okay. Yeah, Greg, this is May 14th, right?
Today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would Gunther say he wants to fight the winner January 9th? That's 9 months.
June 9th. June 9th.
I could have sworn he said January 9th.
June 9th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally agree with what you said. The eating, the crowd loves it, yeah. But I just don't like that anymore. It's starting to get to me as well sometimes too. But Gunther came out, made his point. He wants to face the winner of Jey Uso, Logan Paul.
He doesn't want to. He will.
And I think, as much as I don't want to see him win, I really think Logan Paul and Gunther might be a pretty good match. But yeah, he really didn't get much out of this. I didn't really care too much for it. I gave it a B- as well.
Okay. We had seen backstage where Seth Rollins was talking with Braun Breaker, kind of whispered something in his ear. We saw the lovely Jackie Redmond talking to Ludwig Kaiser. I guess he's out of the witness protection program.
Right.
Visually seen, other than on TikTok videos with his girlfriend, Tiffany Stratton. And during the interview, we heard a little, poles falling and whatnot, where we saw Braun Breaker standing over Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and then Kim running up to see what was happening. We then went to our next singles matchup, as it was AJ Styles against the Judgment Day's Finn Balor. Trev, you lead us on.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I thought this was a good match. AJ and Finn, they go back a long way. They used to be part of the Bullet Club together. And then now they're...
Were they actually in it together, though?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought they were part of the Bullet Club at separate times.
But no, they were in it. They were in it together with Anderson and Gallows as well. But yeah, I thought this was a good match. Obviously, Carlito was outside the ring area, and JD McDonough was out there, and it was, to me, I just thought it was a really good match. Finn Balor and AJ Styles. They've gone at it a few times before. I wouldn't mind seeing this match again, but I really think AJ is going to focus on Dominic in the Intercontinental title because Finn was like to Dominic, well, don't worry, I'll take care of the AJ Styles problem. And he really didn't. So I think Dominic's going to figure, well, you didn't take care of it, I'll take care of it. And he's going to probably end up losing, but not right away. But I think AJ Styles is focused right now on the IC title. But I thought it was a good match. I gave it a B plus.
Okay. I thought this was a really good match. I mean, these are two of the. If you look at the last 20 years in WWE, there's a handful of names that you think were at the top of the roster and have stayed there, and AJ Styles and Finn Balor are two of them. They're two of the best in the last 20 years. It was a back and forth contest. Neither men really grabbed a big advantage. I know Carlito and JD McDonough tried getting involved. And then Penta came out, kind of taking out Carlito and JD McDonough. Then they gave Carlito the Mexican shirt outside the ring. I know it was weird. I don't know if it was weird what you want to read into it. But Dominic was not out there ringside for Finn Balor. Maybe that's going to lead to the tension of Finn Balor saying, hey, where were you? Why weren't you out there for me? I was out there for you. It had some great, submissions and counters that were utilizing this one. It was just a really hard-fought contest between two, bona fide WWE Hall of Famers. I loved everything about this match. I actually gave it an A minus.
Okay.
After that, we then went to Becky Lynch coming out to the ring. I get to go first for this one, and been a WWE fan for decades. Not as long as Trev, but for decades. And I've seen Becky Lynch since her NXT days. I honestly cannot remember a single promo that Becky Lynch did that she was as good as she was in this one. I thought this was incredibly great. Now, she's been in one-on-one promos before that were really, 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 really good. But this was just, give me the mic, I'm going in the ring, I'm talking for 7-8 minutes, and that's it. You're not going to need anybody else. There was no real mic drop moment. But, she was talking about how she didn't get beat at Backlash. Kind of meaning like she had lost the match, but she didn't get beat. She wasn't the one that ended up going to the hospital after it was over. She was talking about all the negative reactions to the crowd. She was going after them, saying, I won, and you couldn't see yourself anymore. After talking to them about how she came up and how they saw themselves in her, a hard worker. All those girls who were happy that I was gone, who thought it was safe because the fire had gone out in Becky Lynch. They're going to find out what it's like to be held down by the man. I think she's ready to run roughshod on this Monday Night Raw women's scene. Would it be surprised? Would it surprise me if we see her and I run it back one more time? No. Would I be disappointed if they did? No. Do I really think that's going to happen? I don't think so. I think we're going to see her just go and start to reclaim her throne as being the top woman in the Raw, at least in the Raw locker room. But yeah, I loved everything about this. I give it a solid A.
Okay. Greg, I don't think how long was the promo?
I didn't time
it didn't seem like it was that long, but she got right to the point. And that's one of the things that I enjoyed about this as well. Yeah, Becky is just so good on the mic, and this definitely proved her worth on the mic. I really would like to see. I'd really like to see her go after EO.
That's what I mentioned.
Yeah, huh?
That's what I mentioned.
Yep, I would really love to see her go after Io Sky. That would be a great match. But yeah, Becky just got right to the point with this, and if I'm looking forward to seeing what's next for her. I expect to see her get involved outside in a couple of women's matches to let people know, hey, here I am. This is what you're going to get from me. And we never know we never know when Bailey's going to show up because I know she's got a serious issue with Bailey. So,
Right.
but her and Lyra, I don't think they're going to run it back again. Like you said, I agree with you on that. But I thought it was good. I gave it an A.
Okay.
Thank you for the goat.
All right. Well, after that, we then went to the main event of the evening, as it was a tag team matchup between Rhea Ripley and the aforementioned Io Sky, taking on NXT's Julia and Roxanne Perez. And yes, as of right now, they're both still listed in NXT.
Okay.
First.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I thought this was a really good match. Io and Rhea worked well together, especially when they did the double high five. I thought that was pretty cool. They got along good. Roxanne and Julia, they're trying to prove something on the main roster, and I think eventually they're going to do it. But Io and Rhea Ripley, I think they're still, heads above everybody else because they're the ones you can, they're like the measuring sticks on Monday Night Raw. So I just thought that this was a good tag match. I want to make mention that after the match was over, I saw afterwards on another site that they went backstage to talk to Roxanne Perez and Julia, and Roxanne was like, "Well, we need to do something. We need to start, getting more aggressive. We need to start doing this. We need to start doing that." And then all of a sudden, Julia just looked to her side, looked at her, and said, "What do you mean we?" So I wonder if there's going to be a little dissension among the ranks there, and we might see something happen between those two. But yeah, I thought it was a good match, good way to end the show. I gave it a B plus.
Okay. Yeah, I think if they do that, that would really be a huge mistake because Julia and Perez, they work with such chemistry. You would think they've been tag teaming for years, and they haven't. It's been weeks. It never gets understated, but the crowd pop for Rhea Ripley when she comes out, it's just, that was probably the loudest pop of the entire night. She is so over, it's not even funny. And that's without having a title around her waist and really being in any real big major feud. So, kudos to her and everything she's been able to accomplish. But, this was an actual just masterpiece of a matchup. Whatever roster, if Julia and Roxanne are headed for the main roster, whichever roster gets those women, they're getting diamonds in the rough. Both women are ready for their careers to blossom and flourish onto the main roster. I don't remember how old Julia is. I think. Hold on, I can check her.
Hey, Brody, thanks for sharing the live.
Huh?
I said, hey, Brody, thanks for sharing the live.
Yeah, Julia's 31, but, she's a little older than I thought she was. I thought she was in her 20s, but, Roxanne's, 22?
Something like that, yeah.
Right? 23. So, Roxanne's definitely got in my opinion, a long career ahead of her. in the WWE, and she could really do some big things. You kind of wonder sometimes with the small stature of people. There's a few women that are small in stature that you could vision being major players in a women's roster. Roxanne Perez is one of them. Alexa Bliss is another one. They kind of fit that same mold. They're tiny in stature, but deliver a great performance. Io Sky, she's the champion for a reason. There was a reason why WWE kept the title on her. Yeah, I really could do without that. But yeah, this was a great matchup between four extremely talented women. There really wasn't much wrong with this match at all. And I loved everything about this. I gave it an A-. Thought it was a great way to end the show.
Alrighty. Overall grade?
I'll go B.
All right. Yeah, I went B- for an overall grade. So, okay, that was our Monday Night Raw recap. Everybody keep tapping that screen. We're at 2.6K likes. I appreciate that. Everybody like, follow, and share. Come on in. Join the good time we're having here talking about Monday Night Raw and NXT. But right now, it's an even better time. It's Nuggies News. So, Greg, what do you got for us?
All right, a few little quick hits here. First and foremost, thoughts and prayers go out to Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake the Snake Roberts underwent heart surgery. I guess he had a routine test and they found an irregular heartbeat. It was said to be a very, very simple procedure. And anytime you have surgery done on your heart, I don't think that could be simple. But he is quoted as saying, "All is hunky-dory, and I should be back on my feet in no time." So once again, get well soon, Jake.
Absolutely.
Another wrestler that has been missing, Liv Morgan, has been out. As I mentioned, she's been away filming a movie over in Japan. It is scheduled to wrap up with if there's no difficulties, nothing in production or anything. Her part of the movie is expected to be wrapped up by the end of this week. I know originally it was stated that she could be back for an appearance on SmackDown on Friday the 16th, but now it is looking like more than likely they will hold up to the following Monday night and have her return to Monday Night Raw and re-enter into the Judgment Day storyline. As seen last night Monday night on Monday Night Raw, WWE officially announced that Night of Champions will be happening in Riyadh during the week of Riyadh in Saudi Arabia on June 28th. There will also be SmackDown on Friday the night before and Monday Night Raw the Monday after. Those of you that see SmackDown internationally, you'll get to see it live. We'll see it delayed and taped on SmackDown here in the United States on USA. NXT Battleground, as we know, will be coming up on May 25th. Did you know that NXT is going head-to-head with AEW's All or Nothing, which is AEW's version of WrestleMania? Mike, do you think this is bad planning, good planning, or just a coincidence?
Well, there had to have been some planning there, but I would think it's just a coincidence. Huh?
Bad planning, good planning.
I think it's good planning.
Okay.
I think
it's bad planning. No offense. I love NXT. I personally watch NXT over AEW anytime because I'm not an AEW fan. But there are people that are fans of both that watch both WWE and AEW. So it's. You are a Dallas Cowboys fan, okay? you're also a Red Sox fan. If the Red Sox are playing in a playoff game, just an American League wild card series, the same time the Cowboys are playing the Super Bowl, which are you watching?
The Super Bowl.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it. So I don't know if they were smart in doing that.
Okay.
So I've got bad news for a lot of us out there. It appears, and this is just rumored, nothing confirmed, but it looks like there's a decent chance that Stephanie McCare is no longer on the market. For those of you that saw this week, I think she broke the internet with the outfit that she was walking. I know Twitter was all ablaze with how she was dressed coming to the ring. Well, she was seen at a family gathering and acting very jovial and very friendly with another NXT superstar. One man by the name of Miles Bourne.
Okay.
It is reported that it was also noted that Miles Bourne had a tattoo of his ex-wife's name on him that he's recently had removed, and he's erased all mentions and pictures and photos on his social media accounts. So, if this is true, Miles Bourne, you're my guy now.
There you go.
All right, let's get to some rumors here. As we all know, this is John Cena's last time to see him before you can see him. And he made it very known that he will, as of December this year, that's it. He will not wrestle in a wrestling ring ever again. And right now, WWE is apparently looking to his last match to be at the TD Garden in Boston in December. There's rumors that for the first time in several years, they may actually try to build a PLE around John Cena's last time. Do you think this is a worthy send-off, sending him off in his final match? I mean, he was from West Newbury, Massachusetts, which is right near Boston. Is this a fitting send-off for John Cena if this winds up being the case?
Yes, it is. I think it's a very fitting send-off.
I agree. And they will be tossing around names from here to the end of time as to who his final opponent should be or could be. At this point, I just don't know who it's going to be. I thought maybe Randy Orton, but I don't know they're going to run that back. Then I don't know. As we all saw in Backlash, we saw the debut of Jeff Cobb. It was rumored that he was going to retire if WWE didn't sign him. Well, guess what? WWE signed him, and it was really kept out of notice to surprise to pretty much everyone. It was PW Insiders reporting that he was on anywhere from between 4 or 5 flights from Japan. They kept him hidden backstage, so other wrestlers didn't see him. They kind of pulled off almost a similar thing they did with CM Punk, where there was only 2 or 3 people in the building, and even though CM Punk was there for his Survivor Series return a couple of years ago. Triple H is reporting, or actually, in an interview with Triple H, he was asked about the health of Drew McIntyre. He, as we all know, he was evaluated by WWE's medical team after the scary bump he took with Damian Priest, where Damian Priest did indeed get dental damage, and he was seen holding the back of his head. Well, Triple H said, quote unquote, reaction at all.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. We always, get worried about health scares.
Yes. Nicholas, I'll get to your comment in just a minute.
What's that?
Nicholas says, when do you think Cody Rhodes is coming back? Do you think by this month or longer?
Longer.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be back until probably Survivor Series.
Why, you don't think we're going to see him until November?
Yeah, I think it'll be maybe SummerSlam.
Oh, okay. All right. So we've been talking for a while now about this rumored Evolution PLE. Well, PW Insider Elite is reporting that WWE is eyeing the weekend July 12th and 13th for both Evolution and a Saturday Night's Main Event, both in Atlanta. It had been previously reported that Saturday, July 5th, there may be an Evolution PLE at Mohegan Sun Arena. Right now, it is now believed that they're going to pair them up together in the same weekend, and there'd be conflicting acts and stuff going on, so they couldn't do both of those the same night, the same weekend at the Mohegan Sun Arena. It is also saying that the WWE draft, and this is reported by Brian Alvarez, a Wrestling Observer, that it is very likely the draft will take place amid the shows that they're having in Tampa, Florida. We know they're doing SmackDown Friday, and then a Saturday Night's Main Event Saturday, Monday Night Raw Monday. You know how they like to do the draft, all together like that. So it's rumored that could be when they're doing the next draft.
And that's the 24th, correct? Because they're in Tampa on the 24th for Saturday Night's Main Event, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is being rumored that The Rock might be returning to WWE this summer. Jonathan Coachman said on his podcast
Excuse me.
that makes sense for him to return this summer. Any excitement about the possibility of The Rock returning, or are we done with it?
I'm done with it.
That's all right. I'm totally done with it.
Yep.
I pulled up one other article here in closing. This is assessing the blame on these 5 quote-unquote struggling WWE stars. This article pulls up 5 stars, and I want you to agree or disagree as to whether or not you agree with these stars and what's to blame on them struggling right now. First one they list is Carmelo Hayes. They say 100% of the blame goes on creative. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I think creative should be doing a lot more with Carmelo Hayes.
Yep, I totally agree. He's only 30 years old. They kind of paired him up with The Miz. I don't know if that's good or if that's bad. But, he's repeatedly done anything you've asked him to. He stumbled a little bit on his, backstage promo segments, which may have hurt him, and kind of, stumbled his creative push. But, I think he's done anything and everything you've asked him to. So I don't see why you couldn't push him. Next one, Alexa Bliss. They give 100% of the blame to creative.
Agree.
Absolutely. Positively. If you, once again, look at 2 times. Her return at the Royal Rumble was the loudest pop of any surprise return at the Royal Rumble. And her pop that she got when she came out as the mysterious tag partner for Zelina Vega, dude, just fuck the white chicks. Forget it. Let them go off in the abysmal of nothingness.
Yep.
Just keep Alexa Bliss away from them. And the next one that they have, sorry, there's also AEW people on here. Charlotte Flair. They assess the blame 50-50 between Charlotte Flair and Creative.
I'm going to have to disagree on that.
Okay.
I think, honestly, I really think it's for Charlotte.
What was that?
I think they're running out of things for Charlotte.
All right, so who's the blame on what's the blame? So you're saying it's all Creative? It's not her at all?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're biased. I really do. Because Charlotte Flair created this issue for herself. Because, I mean, she thinks that she's Charlotte Flair. I deserve everything. I don't have to earn anything. And to me, she goes to blame a lot. Now, is it Creative's fault for putting her in that position? Yeah, a little bit. So, I mean, I'll kind of agree with the 50-50. If not, I'd actually go 60-40. Flair's more to blame than Creative.
Okay.
Next one, MJF. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, AEW on here too. Next one, Solo Sikoa. They put the blame 50-50 on Creative and on Solo himself.
I agree.
Why so?
Because I think they could be doing so much more with Solo. I mean, right now they're just making him, Jacob Fatu's right-hand man or whatever. You really don't see him in the ring that much anymore. So I think...
So why is that his fault?
Well, it's not his fault. It's Creative's.
50-50, Solo and Creative's fault. And you said you agree.
Oh, no, I disagree, I mean.
50% Solo's fault, 50% Creative's fault.
No, I disagree. I just think that they could be doing a lot more with Solo.
Okay. I'm actually going to say this is a tough one because I think, I'm going to disagree as well, but I think he's more to blame than Creative because Creative gave him the absolute, they gave him carte blanche and gave him the ball. They made him the tribal chief. They made him the head of the table. They gave him everything. And yes, ultimately, the end all be all was Roman Reigns coming back, getting his Ulapala back, or his Upalapa. I forget. And then what did he do after that? I think that's where there could be more blame on him to not step up after that and just take what Creative gave him. And then the last one they have, WWE-wise, is John Cena, which confused me that he was on this list, but they blamed 60% on John Cena, 40% on Creative.
Oh, I'll agree.
Okay. Now, so why do you agree? Before I give you my opinion.
Probably because the way. Okay. Hang on. Now that I think about it,
Then why do you disagree?
I don't know. This is hard for me because I just think they could be doing so much more with John Cena for his retirement tour. I mean, he's coming out and doing his promos. He's had a couple of matches.
He's the 17-time champion. How much more do you need him to do?
Yeah, true. That's true. No, I disagree.
Okay, why do you disagree?
Because they could be. First of all, I think it was way too late. In my opinion, I think it was way too late for his heel turn. I just thought it could have been a little earlier than that, but we didn't really see him in many matches before.
Earlier when? Like earlier in his career?
Yeah, earlier in his career, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's 50-50 hindsight. So come on,
Well, I'm trying to understand. I mean, it's if I disagree, why do I disagree? Because I just think that they waited to do his heel turn. If I agree, then I think they're doing a great job with what he's got going on right now, with his promos and his matches and.
Right. So the name of the headline of the article is "Who should be blamed for struggling stars?" They say 60% Cena's to blame himself and 40% creative. I don't see that he's struggling. I
No.
don't know why it's listed on this article. I have no idea. He's now the 17-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion or whatever it is.
Yep.
Breaking the record with Ric Flair, the fraudulent record of Ric Flair's. And how is he struggling?
Right.
I'm confused by this.
WrestleMan, thanks for the heart me. Yeah, that's true.
And that's what I've got for Nuggies News this week. Trent, what do you got for your independent stuff?
All right. Well, first of all, guys, thank you for tapping the screen. Keep it up. Doing a great job. This Friday, May 16th, Blood, Sweat, and Tears presents Norma 5. Wherever they come up with these names, I have no idea. It will be at the Dudleytown Brewing Company at 1001 Day Hill Road in Windsor, Connecticut. Scheduled matches are Underground King versus Sammy Diaz, a number one contenders match, Patrick Saint versus Sidney Akeem versus Flash. For most of you people who don't know who Sidney Akeem is, he was Reggie in WWE. Bobby Ocean versus Ichiban.
Who's he taking
on? Patrick Saint and Flash Waller.
Oh, okay. Well, you always said it was Flash.
Nobody
knows who Flash. I mean, you don't know who Flash is.
Number one contenders matches: Dustin Flash Waller versus Patrick Saint versus Sidney Akeem. Bobby Ocean versus Ichiban. Magic Man and Pretty Poppy go against Dan DeMann and Stan McMichael. Johnny Medina will square off against Ryan Frost, another mainstay in indie wrestling. Super Frey and Young Boy will go against the Poster Boys. And Eden Gray versus Evie De La Rosa, as Evie De La Rosa will defend her Blood, Sweat, and Tears Women's Championship on that night. And also on May 16th, we have Friday Night Alley Fights from PAPW. Scheduled on that Friday Night Alley Fight will be Jeremy LaCroix versus Jermaine Marbury. Mikey G versus Hakeem Ali, which is one half of the House of Pain. All go Nelly versus the Mid-Atlantic Champion for AIWF, Kaizo. The PAPW US Champion, Mirza, will take on Evolve's Brad Baylor. Kevin Kidd versus Corey Duke. That will be at 662 Co Avenue at 7 p.m. in East Haven, Connecticut on May the 16th. Tickets are general admission $15, kids under 12, $5. Also, May 24th, Tetsu Pro Wrestling presents Full Metal Mayhem at Windsor, Connecticut. I don't have the complete card yet, so as soon as I get the card for that, I'll let you know. And Outcast Wrestling will be having two shows. June 14th in Gales Ferry, Connecticut at the Ledyard Middle School. Richard Holiday versus Mikey Midas. Katie Lothbrooke versus Aaron Norman. And Kylon King versus Danny O'Brien. And also they will be doing a show on June the 28th at the Gathering Place, 99 Center Street in Wallingford. The scheduled main event for that night is 5150 versus Bull Dread, and that will be a fans bring the weapons match. So you never know what the fans are going to come up with for those weapons. Huh? I know. Tickets for that show are $20 general admission, $15 for students and military, and under 7 get in free.
Yeah, if we go, maybe we can recap. Maybe we can do the setup with the matchup where the Street Profits, where Montez Ford used that guy's artificial prosthetic leg, and hit him with it. I can take out mine and then give it to Bull Dread.
I saw that.
With it, reenact.
Yep, and that was my indie report for this week. Right now, we are going to go to our NXT recap. So, Greg, what do you got?
Alrighty, well, they were still back at their lovely home at the Performance Center. I'm going to ask you real quickly, did you do the opening promo leading right into the match as one, or did you do it separately?
Separately.
Okay. So, as in true Top Rope Report fashion, anything and everything NXT, the Nugs, get to lead off. And this week's NXT opened up with an in-ring promo where we had the No Quarter Tax crew coming out, where Miles Bourne came out to cut an in-ring promo. Once again, I get to lead off, and he got real with the audience. I know people have heard him talk recently, and he has a little bit of a speech impediment. And that is because, as I have noted, we have stated, he is legally deaf. He does have partial hearing, so he can hear noises, sounds, and weird and words. And, he was talking about how he was doing this, and he was making sure that kids and people with disabilities also get, can realize they can live their dreams. He was then interrupted by All Ego Ethan Page. And Ethan Page was, talking about, about Miles Bourne and saying how, he's going to talk really slowly so we can understand him. Charlie Dempsey jumped in and kind of issued a little bit of a challenge, or accepted a little bit of a challenge from Ethan Page to kind of put his number one contendership on the line with a singles match, and Miles Bourne accepted. And right after that, Ava came out, and I kind of find it weird that, Nick Aldis, Adam Pearce, they just come out. Anytime Ava's going to come out, she has music that plays. Whatever. Don't get that. That's a whole little thing. She came out and did make the match official, and then told Charlie Dempsey that, basically his matchup right after that was going to be against Obafemi. I thought it was an okay way. I really liked how Miles Bourne talked about his disability and maybe give people another little look as to, look at him differently as to what he does in the ring. But I thought it was an okay way to start to give it a B-.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see too many wrestlers that, get real with the fans during a promo. So kudos to Miles Bourne for that, letting the fans know, his situation. And Ethan Page is a dick, but he plays the role real good. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know how well Miles Bourne is going to do against Obafemi. I mean, he's not a bad wrestler, but I mean, this is Obafemi. This guy's a monster. And when Ethan Page came out talking about putting his number one contendership on the line, I was thinking to myself, well, I really don't think Miles Bourne is going to lose this because he busted his ass winning the Royal Rumble, so now he's number one contender, so he deserves the shot. But yeah, I gave it a B- as well.
Okay. All right, and after that, as we said, we then went into the opening matchup of the evening, as it was the NXT champion Obafemi taking on Charles Dempsey in a non-title match. Trev, you're up first.
Okay. Hey, Tommy, thanks for joining. Surprisingly, I don't think I've ever said this on the show, but I really like Charlie Dempsey in the ring. I mean, I think the man is good in the ring. Obviously he's been trained by one of the best, his dad, Steven Regal. But I mean, he went against Obafemi, and he had his moments in that match, but Obafemi just too strong for him. And I don't see Obafemi. I mean, obviously Oba got the victory with that power bomb that he gave Charlie Dempsey, and I really don't see Obafemi losing this title anytime soon. But I thought this was a pretty decent match. I thought Charlie Dempsey was holding his own there for a while. I gave it a B.
Okay. Yeah, the match is pretty good. I mean, he's an experienced wrestler. That's kind of why they let him take over. As we all know, remember Drew Gulak was originally the head of No Quarter Catch Crew, and then when he got Me Too'd and thrown out of WWE, Charlie Dempsey assumed that role. He was the one that brought in Tavion Heights and added Ren Sinclair. So, he's definitely good in the ring. I mean, this match, it was a solid match, but I mean, it wasn't designed to be a show-stealing bout. It was done to make Obafemi look like a beast, which, I mean, is really hard to do. But the way he, did that, the big powerbomb right in the corner, while kind of staring at Miles Bourne, just to kind of, show him what he may be in for when they wrestle at Battleground. And, like you said, I don't think there's any shot that Miles Bourne has in beating Obafemi. He's not the next guy to be the NXT champion. And but I think he's going to hold his own. But yeah, I gave this matchup the exact same grade you did as a B.
All right. Hey, Kate, thanks for joining. Okay, guys, the screen has gone silent here. Let's keep tapping that screen. We're at 3K.
All right. After that, we then went to another singles matchup where it was Wes Lee taking on Tony D'Angelo. I get the lead off for this, and the match was okay. It was going okay. And then, both guys get a little bit of offense. I know that there was the big, hit top that Tony D'Angelo did to Wes Lee. We threw him out of the ring onto Jamoke 1, Jamoke 2. I forget the name, the Riz, whatever they're now called. I don't even know. I know Tony D'Angelo, a beautiful belly-to-belly suplex. But, and this is where I feel bad for Wes Lee, because he is so much more talented to be the footnote to another ongoing storyline, because we had Stacks show up on the thing talking about how, he knew where Adriano Rizzo's, where the safe house was, because he's had to put people in that safe house, and you want to be the Don, you got to act like the Don, and that kind of distracted Tony D'Angelo to the point where Wes Lee was able to get the win. But it all seemed anticlimactic because, once again, it was all about, Tony D'Angelo getting the Rizzo before, Stacks did, when Stacks is right outside the fucking house.
Right.
Anyways, but yeah, it really took away from the match. It was pretty good. I gave the whole thing a C.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Wes Lee, I really hope that he sees the main roster pretty soon. I think he'll do real well on the main roster. Tony D'Angelo is not that bad in the ring. I mean, he's a powerful guy, but he's not that bad in the ring. And this thing with Stacks Lorenzo now, I have no idea what happened to Luca Crucifino. He just vanished somewhere. And
he disappeared in the desert.
Yep. And I think I think this this was a pretty decent match. Wesley, he got the win, so it is what it is. Tony D'Angelo going in the back, jumping in the car, and just drive, and so that whole thing outside the house I could have done without. But yeah, I gave it a B minus.
Okay. After that, we then went to the number one contendership matchup where it was Ethan Page taking on Miles Bourne. Triv, you're up first.
Oh, okay, thank you. I enjoyed this match. As much as Ethan Page, I think, is a dickhead, he's good in the ring. Miles Bourne, he not only can show he's a good tag team wrestler, he's also good singles as well. And I think this match went over good. Obviously, Miles Bourne retains his number one spot as number one contender. And I just love it when Ethan Page gets beat, because he just it's great. I feel about Ethan Page like I feel about Logan Paul. I don't care if he ever wins another match. But Miles Bourne did a great job in this match. I think he's going to do okay against Obafemi, but I don't see him winning. I gave the match a B.
Okay. Yeah, before the matchup, we saw him backstage with the rest of the No Quarter Catch crew. Charlie was trying to come out, but he just couldn't do it after getting the shit kicked out of him with Obafemi. And he said, "I've got this," which was good. He came out there, did this, and did it on his own. Oh, excuse me. I think what I really like about Ethan Page is he is such a great heel. He really is. Because you called him a dick. I mean, you don't call many people dicks. And the fact that you hate him so much, dislike him so much, and his fucking music sucks, but he does so good with it. I mean, it's just everything about him. It's excellent. And he's the perfect person to be in a matchup with Miles Bourne, because he's a well-respected veteran, been around the block several times, and backed into the driveway. And a younger kid like Miles Bourne, who is, let me just double check, he's a young kid. If you had to guess how old Miles Bourne was, how old would you guess?
25.
Exactly. 25. Exactly. On the nose. Do you know how old Ethan Page is?
30.
Higher.
33.
Higher.
38.
Lower.
35.
Exactly. So 10 years to a senior. But, it was good, long, about 8.5 minutes long match. 11 minutes long match, and it didn't seem that long. It was a good, fun matchup. And yes, Evan Bourne, Miles Bourne got the victory, so he will be taking on Obafemi. Be careful what you wish for, but I also gave this a solid B.
All right, Steve Bundy, thanks for joining. Not Al Bundy, Steve Bundy.
We did see Tony D'Angelo getting into a vehicle and taking off to find Stacks before we went to that actual match. After the match, we saw Bubba and Undertaker backstage with some of the LFG talents talking about how Tyler May Steele and Xena will be wrestling one-on-one for a WWE NXT contract this Sunday at Madison Square Garden. Note to people, that episode taped months ago. But anyways, we then went to a singles matchup. Earlier in the evening, we saw Tatum Paxi throwing a temper tantrum, how everybody has left him and she's all alone, where she was being consoled by Thea Hale and Carmen Petrovic, and Tatum flipped out on Thea Hale, and that led us to this next matchup. of Thea Hale versus Tatum Paxley. Triv, you're up.
Okay. Yeah, I really didn't like this match. Thea Hale she's gotten a lot better in the ring, but I think we're going to see a more darker side of Tatum Paxley now, because now they got rid of Gigi Dolan, and like you said, she was throwing stuff around, wrecking her dollhouse, the whole 9 yards. But yeah, I didn't think this match was that good. She ended it on the Kimura, so I thought that Thea Hale's in-ring ability and her in-ring skills have improved since she was off for that amount of time after Chase University disbanded. But I thought she looked pretty good in the ring. Tatum Paxley just, she is who she is. But I just didn't really like the match all that much. I gave it a C plus.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a fan of Thea Hale. I'm a fan of Tatum Paxley, but I was not a fan of this match. Both women, they came in, Thea Hale was like, why? I didn't, blah, 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 why are we doing this, yada, yada, yada. But it was a quick match. It was only 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Sorry, hold on. Furball. And, Thea Hale tried to win it with a Kimura lock, and then Paxley, just wound up getting herself disqualified after she went to gouge her eyes out and then didn't stop at the count. She then went crazy and started beating on her. Gigi and Shotzi were let go. That maybe they could rebrand Tatum Paxley, which I think they are. But I don't think it's going to be for the good. I think it's going to make her even weirder and worse than she is. But we'll have to see. But this was just an average match between two relatively inexperienced wrestlers. I gave it a C.
Okay, guys, we're still at 3K. Oh,
we saw Tony D'Angelo showing up at the safe house, only to be attacked by Stacks, leading to a matchup at Battleground